Music producers. This last week, Jermaine Dupri had an interview on The Breakfast Club, and it brought up some interesting topics that I want to talk to you about 2018 and the focus that is now being put on the music producer. Let's talk about it. Music producers. This last week, Jermaine Dupri did an interview on The Breakfast Club, and he was breaking down some of the business that he has been a part of, or that he has basically been a bridge. And one of the things that he brought up that I thought was interesting, because I didn't watch the entire interview, which, excuse me if I'm taking anything out of context, but I saw an Instagram that was going around that, a lot of OGs of mine, a lot of folks who are not, they still don't believe in the beat leasing business. They started sharing this as sort of a warning to producers who are giving their beats away exclusively for a certain price. Now, from what I gather in this small clip, because obviously, you can only get so much from it, but from this small clip, which we're going to try to put in there. Richie, can we add that clip in here? I'm going to send that to you. So within this clip, watch right now. Just basically watch. Just watch.
The producer that did the Coco beat, right, for OT Genesis, he lived like down in like some no-name part of Alabama, right? This little kid, and he made the beat on his school computer. I went to go sign him to give him a publishing deal, and he put the beat up on the internet for $200.
Wow.
OT bought it, and OT sold 3 million copies.
That's fair business.
That's fair business.
I mean, it's fair business, but that's what I'm saying. They starting this themselves. They doing this themselves because they want the world to hear these beats so bad that they putting themselves in these type of situations. So it's like you gotta. I mean, how you get on is how you get on. I can't tell people what to do, but I'm saying that's a situation where that type of stuff happens where you like, damn, he just gave me $200. He got him Rafe. Well, hey,
can you go back and get?
No, you can't go back. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
You sold it. That's what you wanted. You wanted everybody to get.
So, with this clip, he's warning about a young producer who I guess was getting impatient about the process, and he puts a beat out there on his beat leasing website he said, for $200 exclusively. OT Genesis goes and purchases the actual beat, and then goes and sells 3 million copies of that particular song. Okay? So his thing was that, oh man, this kid is missing out on a bag because of his impatience, because he sold off all the rights. It's not entirely factual based upon that. So before I get into my own particular opinion about this, let me go straight to the source himself. This is the producer. The producer, I believe his name is Juice, something Juice, I'm sorry. But the producer said this on his actual social media. He said, this man has no idea. He's talking about Jermaine Dupri. He says, this man has no idea what he's talking about. Smiling emoji. First of all, I didn't sell it for $200. I originally sold it for $75 and ended up making 3 bands just for putting my name across the dotted line. Second of all, you drove from Atlanta to Ozark for 20 minutes, then told me you was going to keep in contact with me. Gave me your number and all. Third of all, I did get royalties from Coco, still getting them. And fourth of all, this man wasn't even trying to offer half of what Warner Chappell or any publishing company offered me. Industry full of fugazi N-word. Okay, so obviously he feels a certain way when he saw that meme, and I feel a certain way too, because it's like, I get it that the OGs are mad that the game is changing. I get it that there's a lot of OGs that are, they want to say that these leasing producers are ruining the game, and they're selling their beats for 99 cents. I still to this day I've yet to see one person selling their beats for 99 cents. That's an over-exaggerated, blanketed statement that a lot of them try to use to show how cheap that these producers are and how they cheapen in the craft. And no. They're not cheapening the craft. Here's the thing about it. The game has changed, and y'all can no longer sell beats for an entire mortgage of a mansion. You can no longer sell beats for the price of a Bugatti off the lot. You can no longer sell beats for that amount. People are not buying that. Why? Because they can find a 17, 18-year-old who's just really trying to get some rent money or just get some money so that he can go to college with. He's just trying to get that entry-level money within the industry, and he can make that money from his own business. I don't get why we are not using these individuals as examples of young entrepreneurs and saying, look, yes, there's things that you make sure that you need to take care of. You know, if you're going to be selling your beats exclusively, make sure you line it up within your contract. And here's the thing about it. Nobody's even asking about that. In any exclusive contract, you go beyond just, you're not giving away your rights exclusively as the producer. You're not saying, I don't want no money from it if you make some money from it. That's not what most exclusive contracts don't have that in it. Most exclusive contracts says, look, this is exclusively yours. But if you sell to a certain plateau, we need to renegotiate these terms. Okay, they have it to where they say, I am entitled to be credited for my publishing. I am entitled to be credited as a producer. I'm even entitled to a percentage of this record's success that you need to report to me, because I am entitled to that money based upon our agreement. That is most exclusive contracts. So I don't know what the hell all these producers are talking about, like, y'all selling off all your rights. That's because y'all don't know the business. You know one business. You know this music industry business. And I think what's going on is getting you pissed, because you're seeing now 18, 19-year-olds, because when you were 18 and 19, I know you wasn't making the money these young 18, 19-year-olds are making. I'm looking at that producer who produced that beat, and he got bands off of the one song. And from that situation, he has an opportunity to say, look, I'm the producer of Coco. I make other beats. Now, look at this. From whatever you think 3 million copies sold, because I really want to get down to those numbers, and I'm going to get to that in a few seconds, but whatever you think 3 million copies sold, when you say numbers like that, these guys like Jermaine Dupri, you know it's misleading to the general public when you say, oh, this person sold 3 million copies and you only got $200. The man just said right now he sold for 70, and that might have been a lease. I'm assuming it was a lease. But here's the thing about it. 3 million copies don't get you $3 million. We know that, right? We're clear on that, right? Okay, we're not clear on that. Well, let me go ahead and pull up this particular tweet from not even young, but from the professional Nipsey Hussle. So if you didn't see it, Nipsey Hussle actually broke it down for all of y'all what streaming can actually get you, because he said 3 million copies sold. He didn't necessarily say that these were the singles that were sold. This could even mean streaming from what he's talking about. He's just throwing a number out there. But here's the thing about it. 1 million streams on Amazon Music gets you $4,020. This is what Nipsey tweeted. 1 million streams on Tidal gets you $12,500. Okay? 1 million. 1 million streams on Apple Music gets you $7,350. Okay? Let's give him even deeper. 1 million streams on Spotify gets you $4,370. You want to break it down even worse than that? 1 million streams on YouTube is $690. So before you sit up here and you chastise this young dude for selling exclusive rights and he's missing out on a bag and all of this situation, and before y'all going in on these young producers, realize that in the beat leasing business, it is not uncommon for somebody who's doing this full time for one beat to account for $4,000 within a year. Now, if you talk about having a catalog of 90s plus beats, come on, man. Y'all can do the numbers. Y'all can do the math. So do not chastise these young dudes for making money faster than you probably made money at that age. What you're angry about has nothing to do with the business at hand. His business is his business. I don't even understand why this became a public situation. I don't know if he was saying this as a warning to young producers, or why they're trying to discourage producers from leasing their beats. Let these young dudes make their money. Why don't they deserve to make their money? Obviously, we see what the new standards of the music business is, and we see folks ain't really making money off of streams like that. Come on now. These folks have an opportunity. These young producers have an opportunity to really make their paper. And if they know their business, which is why it's important that you as producers go tap into resources like, to Game and myself and, even Internet Money and folks that really try to give you sort of the knowledge within this. It's important that you go to these resources. However, here's one last warning that I want to give you, and I spoke about this on Game's channel for this podcast episode we did, but here's the one thing I want producers to pay attention to. Have you noticed that there's a lot more publications around that are paying attention to the problems of music producers? Why do you think that is? Do you think that they're genuinely concerned about your money and they're genuinely concerned about telling your story? Or do they see an opportunity because of the leaders in our industry? And I do see myself as a leader in this industry. Do they see that there's an audience, an eager audience, an engaging audience that they can now try to leverage and push into their websites? I'm calling Genius out. Genius, y'all played yourself. I don't care if I sound like Khaled when I said that. Y'all played yourself. Genius.com. I have nothing but the utmost respect for y'all. I had the utmost respect for y'all. I've always shared my content on your channel in terms of like behind the scenes when I do beats for Ab-Soul. But y'all played yourself. Y'all directly swipe content that you saw on my Twitter account. And I'm assuming whoever's behind that story right now with the producers who are, here's ways that producers can protect themselves. You know that you come to my channel and you've studied stuff within my channel. How do I know that? At the very least, you took the same Q-tip line that I said industry rule 4080, record people are shady. You went and used that as the last exclamation mark on your last video. When you see situations like this happening, you got to understand that. What did Q-tip say? Industry rule 4080, record people are shady, man. Record label people are shady, bro.
Don't trust that someone else has your best interest at heart, even if they're your friends, because
industry rule number 4080, record company people are shady.
It's corny. Producers, look out for this stuff. Because there's folks out here that mean you well. There's folks, there's industry producers who mean well by you. And then there's people out here who just want your ad dollars. They want your traffic. They want your engagement. I seen somebody, it was another blog company that put up, tag 2 producers that, deserve to get paid for their work. And then I saw some people tagging me and, I appreciate y'all. But then I'm looking at the blog publication. I'm like, not even a year ago, these fools didn't even give producers credits for the songs they're posting. They would get just a small little mention, maybe. Maybe they get a small mention if they're a big name producer. Now all of a sudden they care about your problems? Keep your antenna up is all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't engage with it. There's people out here who are doing amazing work. DJ Booth, I give y'all a round of applause because y'all have been doing amazing work, consistent work to make sure that you tell the stories of the people who are often overlooked. And not just producers, but even rappers who kind of get, done wrong when they pay for verses and whatnot. But producers, keep your antennas up. Look around you and understand that Game has another approach to it to where he says you should look at this and feel empowered by it, and you should feel empowered by it. But I also would like to add to that, not just feel empowered by it, but keep your antennas up and realize that not everybody here is for your benefit. And you got to think the same publications that looked at you as being used by the industry, you don't think they'd use you when they think that you're an easy come up? If they already know that you're willing to give away your rights for the thing that you love the most, of course you'll give away your story for even less than that because you're associated with a brand that has a gang of followers. But here's the thing about it. You are now in just as much power as they are now. You have the internet now. You have the greatest opportunity to get your stuff out there to as many people as they can get out there. Do not let these publications make you believe that you need them. Do not let them feel like you need that cosign. Don't even let these producers that are in the game feel like you need their cosign, because you don't need their cosign. What you got to do is get on your business. What you got to do is own your own. What you got to do is worry about how to build your business up, because if you build your business up, they can't never take that away from you. But if you're underneath somebody else's wing, they can always tell you when to eat, sleep. I almost cussed, but I ain't messing my monetization up. They can always tell you when or when you can't do something, right? And obviously, sometimes even us as owners, we got to take our many L's. Sometimes we do take our L's. Obviously, I am using a platform that is YouTube, and YouTube owns it. And if they want to shut stuff down, they can shut stuff down tomorrow on me. But guess what? Because I built CurtisKingBeats.com, I'll take these videos straight to CurtisKingBeats.com and start it up there. But let's not even worry about that. We don't want to have that happen. We love what we're doing over here at YouTube. But I'm going on a long rant because this kind of stuff really does piss me off to see young producers get downplayed so much, to see OGs that should be leading, pushing people down, and to see young dudes like, man, just let these folks eat. Let them eat however they got to eat. Young producers, understand your business though. And if you don't know it, align with somebody that can help you understand it, or just do your own research and then ask more specific and smarter questions, and you'll get to the bag. You'll get to whom you need to get to, but just be wary. Get your antennas up. It's a lot of people that are paying attention to you in the community right now who don't give a damn about you. Once again, it's another Curtspiration. Doodle. If you need some more of this use, please subscribe to the channel below. Be a part of the notification gang. Those of you that have great suggestions for our questions or things that you're having trouble with, please go to CurtisKingBeats.com/Curspiration, and I will get to that as soon as possible. There were some topics this week I had to touch on that are not really within Curspiration, but we're going to be getting back to that really soon. Coming back to the topic at hand, don't believe everything you see. Understand that everybody's kind of pushing their own agenda. Right? Everybody has their own, oh, you gotta do this because if not, but they have their own story behind it. Why am I pushing my agenda? Because I am pushing an agenda too. I'm pushing an agenda that is called you. I am pushing an agenda that's called belief in yourself, ownership in yourself. I am pushing an agenda that says you should no longer be relying on what your uncles and maybe your pops who rapped and produced had to rely on. The industry is different. And now with the way that the internet is, you have the opportunity at a very young age to be making paper that your folks never even seen or even thought about. Paper from your own home. You ain't even got to even go in the studio with some of these bozos, right? You can do that stuff right from your own house. Why not you? That's the agenda I'm pushing. Why not you? Why not right now? Why not with the stuff that you create? And why not find your audience and do it the way you want to do it? You deserve to get paid right now. Get your money. That's the agenda I'm pushing. And when you see these other people out here, just keep an antenna up. There's a lot of opportunities out here looking around like, oh man, these producers is a come up, man. They got high paying VSTs, they got high paying equipment. Man, they must got a lot of money. So if I tap into that audience, maybe I can kind of, you gotta see this stuff. I see it coming a mile away. Every time I see a new story come up, I'm like, y'all surprised? In this life, you will not be full of life until you decide to live life to its fullest. Curtis King and CurtisKingBeats.com. I can't listen to you. When I listen to you, it's a liability. Cause you be mentally killing my inner energy. So I'm concealing my feelings before you injure me.